Welcome back to CGN. Bobby G here with Charlie Boxy Box. How'd I do
There
there?
you go.
Okay. I'm just going to call you Sir Charles, given your fine accent. But
Perfect.
very nice to meet you. Thank you for taking time today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. So I know there's a strong, proud tradition in England. If we could start out a little bit, Charlie, a little bit about your background and how you got into golf, at what age, and kind of where you honed your skills as a young junior.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say I was pretty late getting into golf. Obviously, being from England, football, so soccer for you guys was pretty dominant for me and growing up. And I played pretty high level football kind of growing up. But then just one day, my dad said, "Oh, do you fancy going down the range at late age of like 13, 12, 13?" And kind of suddenly the golf spark happened. And then basically slowly thought about which one would I prefer to go, football or golf. And look at me now, so I'd probably say golf took off instead of the football. But yeah, I'd say just play with my dad's friends at a young age and then slowly going through the ranks of playing in all the big tournaments and then eventually ending up in America.
Right. And not as many bumps and bruises and broken bones.
Oh yeah, it's a bit nice from the body, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So, where did you play in England growing up? And what kind of tournaments did you get to, kind of get really, really good, and then decide to come to America?
So the golf course I started playing at was Beadles Lake, which is just like a local golf course for kind of anyone to get into golf and play golf. That's where all my dad's friends were. And then it got to the point where I kind of outgrew the golf course and wanted something a bit more challenging to help me. And funny enough, that's where my coach was based at. So I moved to Kirby Muxloe. And last year I joined another golf club, Rothley Park, who's kind of different golf course within the area to kind of home a game in for specific golf courses, tight tee shots, funky greens. So there's quite a good choice where I can get my game ready for whatever tournaments I'm heading to.
And so obviously you had some success in you at these different clubs, and you obviously were competing early on. What was it about, in your mind that you're like, in order to get to maybe the next level, I think I need to go to the US. And then part B of that is, how did you wind up at Hutchinson?
I mean, we hummed and hawed with my family if kind of do the PGA program, kind of go turn pro quite young and try and work it up like that. But I mean, not many people can say they lived in America for 4 years to play golf and then always the opportunity, go through here, play well, and the America's the place for golf. I mean, it's got everything here. So we kind of looked at the American option, and Chris Young gave me an opportunity at Hutchinson. They were the number one ranked team at the time. They just won back-to-back nationals. So I mean, it was kind of a green light from there. Told me all the ins and outs, what it's going to be, going to class. Obviously, not the funnest part of going to college is the classwork, but I mean, it's all part of the parcel. So just kind of headed out there, just kind of open-minded and see what happened.
Did you know anyone else on the team, or you just went blindly into it?
So there was one of my teammates, Louis Ross.
Okay.
I played against him in the kind of the county final. So every county in England, they'd got to the finals. So it's like a Ryder Cup style. And we played together the year before I went out to America, and he was going. So he's a year above me, and he went out like 3 days after we played. So it was quite fun to eventually go out there and kind of see him again and be teammates for another 2 years.
So Charlie, we are fortunate. We have a big audience, and a vast majority of them are, juniors, and
Yeah.
as well as college, and some early pros. And one of the things I like to ask our interviewees is, if you would talk a little bit about kind of the transition from high school to college. Uh,
Yeah.
you had an added hurdle of coming to the U.S. for the first time, but what was that like, playing that club golf, and then coming to college and getting studies going and getting comfortable, and just what were some of the things that you might be able to share, some tips on that transition from high school to college?
Absolutely. I felt like it was more of a mindset thing for me. obviously being in your small town, you're probably going to be the best player, and you turn up to a tournament, everyone's like, oh, that's him, like he's going to win and stuff like that. So obviously coming to America, big, not really the greatest golfer out of England. I didn't play. I played in the big events, but nothing really special. And then, so the mindset I had is obviously I've got to come here and develop. That's the only way to compete out here. Everyone's going to be raring to beat you and don't really care who you are. You just got go out there and play. So knowing the mindset had to change straight away. Obviously, with like what you said with class work, I mean, you go class in the mornings, early gym sessions, and then go and practice and qualify. And then when tournaments come around, it's a whole different ball game. So everyone wants to go and win. No one wants to turn up and come mid range. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you had good success. You had 2 standout seasons at Hutchinson. So what was it that made you, want to get into Division One? Or, what did you think you need? What was in your mind that you thought it was time for a change? Was there anything that was really pulling at you or
I mean,
change?
I had obviously played well my 2 years, and I spoke to Chris Young, Coach Young at Hutchinson, and we kind of thought that I was ready for the next step. And obviously, I had a lot of opportunities from all over the country to go and play Division One golf. So I thought, if other people are seeing the trust and the skills I have, I think it must be time to go and try out and take it to the next level.
Absolutely. I mean, you had 6 collegiate wins, 9 top 3 finishes, ranked inside 250 nationally. You were the national champion for NJCAA in 2025. I mean, yeah, it seemed like a natural matriculation to that next level.
Yep.
Uh, what ultimately, was it about Eastern Michigan that's where you wound up?
I mean, there was a few schools that I narrowed it down to and came out and visit with my family. But I mean, as soon as I got here at Eastern with Andy Walker and Ryan Yett, the kind of the vision that these guys have had and the playing past that both of them have had and the coaching records. I mean, it was hard to say no to as a person that's trying to get to the level that they've personally been at. So I felt like that was a big thing, knowing they've been there, done that. It's kind of a big thing for them to relay what needs to happen to get to the next level.
Yep. So you mentioned your family. I don't want to get a text from your mom or your sister Grace tomorrow that we didn't
Yeah,
mention them. So I'm gonna give you the opportunity to do a shout out and share some love and appreciation for all their
yeah.
guidance and love
Shout
behind
out
it.
to all the family. Thank you for coming out to Hawaii and seeing me. I look forward to seeing you all soon.
Great. That's awesome. I'm sure they'll appreciate that. It was very nice of you. So what is it that, if anything, you're currently working on in your game that I know you don't struggle with much, but is there any one or 2 things that you're working on? And if so, if you could share with us and talk about what specifically are you doing to, pick up that extra, level of attention?
Yeah, I spoke to my coach back at home, Ian Bailey. Obviously, pretty good season, slow start to the season out here, but I mean, it picked up pretty good with a few top tens and obviously the win. And we kind of just went over the things that I felt where if I can get these things, everything will going to click kind of straight away. So I feel like for me, it was more like the scoring, them like niggly 50 to 80 yarders. I mean, you're going to get up and down for birdies, or if you hit it in the trees, have to chip out up and down to save par. I mean, that's the part for me where if I get that going and to the level I want it and expect it to be at, I think that's going to be a real game changer for me.
So Boxy, if you don't mind sharing a little bit inside, kind of your improvement there. Let's just focus in on the 50 to 80 yarders, which you've got a scoring club in your hand.
Yep.
What is it that you're working on to keep it, I don't know, 10 feet consistently? Is that a fair
Yeah.
number?
I'd be happy if I hit it 7 feet every time. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But for me, working just now and in the season with Ryan Yip, our assistant, it was kind of we're trying to work on like the clock system. So knowing that I take it back to roughly the same place and I commit straight through with the same speed, that was kind of the way how I felt it was better. Like we checked all the numbers and stuff like that, and that was the way we thought was kind of going to work best for me. obviously there's different ways for different people, but trying to dial in the clock system was the way, and like different holding the grip further down, like on the golf pride, or put it on the P, put it on the G, kind of just to, if even if it's like 70 yards and then 73 yards, like if you grip down on a certain letter and hit the same length, it might go that distance.
Interesting. Yeah, and with that same tempo, I don't wanna speak out of school, but I can appreciate that your mindset is that, if you get it the right way back on that clock, as I'm listening to you, that as long as you don't rush it and you keep turning through, you're
Yeah,
gonna stick it, right? You know
yeah,
the spin, you know the trajectory, so that
absolutely.
just builds up confidence in that. That's amazing. So there, a little bit of a science there. Have you always been, is that new for you, or have you always been like a field player?
I've normally been a field player, so it was kind of something that me and Yip spoke about really well. And I kind of said, like, I feel like this is the part that's maybe holding me back from a couple low rounds and like maybe saving a few pars. And he thought, okay, let's try this, try the clock system. That's what he did when he played. And so he had a really good playing career. So
And is that limited to that 50 to 80-yard shot and the rest of your swing
I
is
think
you know?
we kind of worked from 100 to down to that 50. So,
Okay.
I mean, if it's like full shots, so we went from a full shot, three quarters, 50,
Got
and then did that with all the different clubs. So it kind of gives you the high one, the low one, the mid flight, spin.
I
So,
don't usually get this technical, on these interviews, Charlie, so thank you for your patience and my
no
dumb
problem.
questions, but, the way you explained it was very articulate, and even a dummy like me could understand it, so I'm sure if I can understand it, I'm sure our entire audience will be able to figure it out.
That's the plan.
Okay, good. And so what if anything, other than that, what if anything else, or anything in the mental game that you're working on, or that needs a little attention? And the second part of that is, on the rare occasion that you get a bad bounce or a bad break, how do you put it in the rearview mirror and move forward?
I mean, kind of coming through like the high school ranks back in England and the early days of JUCO, I was kind of a bit of a hothead coming from my football days. I mean, I played in midfield, like got involved and stuff. And suddenly I just realized, just sat down in bed one night after probably a rough day. I thought, let's just go out tomorrow and just kind of have the mentality of just go out there, enjoy it, go and play. And then after that, I saw a sports psychologist. We spoke about a couple of things. And I mean, it's a completely different goal for now. Knowing that obviously I'm going to hit a bad shot once in a while or miss a 6 foot putt. I mean, that's golf. But knowing that, staying calm and trusting the process and trusting how good I actually am was a big thing for me.
Yep, got it. Understood. That's really great insight. Really appreciate that. Is there anything else that you do, like with you said some physical training? Is there anything else that you care to share with us about, like what you do, kind of off the course and off the practice range, that's helped your game?
I mean, off the course, for my body wise, obviously keeping the body stretched out, even if I don't touch clubs for a couple of days after a travel day. I mean, I always try and stretch the body, hamstrings. I mean, the body gets tight after not moving for a while, even at my age. So yeah, do that. And then obviously, I think a big thing for me is being social with my teammates and friends and family. Just let them know what's going on and just trying to be a normal person off the golf course.
So you're in your junior year now, and you've
Yep.
got a big semester coming up. What do you envision? Kind of, what are your personal goals and team goals for next semester?
I mean, personal goals for me is obviously to be able to compete multiple times next semester. I got the job done once this year and played well in Hawaii. Not the last round we wanted, but I mean, it's golf and it's always good to be in them positions. So yeah, being in contention, obviously always want to go and win, but keeping in the top tens, keeping at the top of the leaderboard with some good scores, that's always my goals. And obviously the team goals is we want a completely different semester, try and go out there, set a different Eastern that there has been in the past, and trying to go out there and break some records.
Well, you certainly have the maturity and the wisdom and also just the grit,
Yeah.
to go out and do that. I'm really picking up on that, and it's really, it's very cool to see and hear, and really appreciate that input. So before I ask the last question, I'm just really curious about if you have a favorite karaoke song you'd like to share with us.
Oof, favorite karaoke song. I mean, my friends and family probably know I'm not the greatest of singer, even when I'm in the shower. But I mean, karaoke song, I'd probably say stick to my English ways and probably say Wonderwall by Oasis. I think
Okay.
that's just a classical banger for us guys.
Okay, great. I will we'll put that on our list and we'll see how it goes. And so the last question is, I know you don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but have you thought about what you might do after senior year? Are you going to consider playing professionally or
Yeah, that's the plan. Obviously, try and stay out here. We've got a really good backing here at Eastern, and he's really looking forward to the time when the time comes for me to turn pro. We've kind of got a good outline what hopefully will go along. But yeah, definitely turn pro and hopefully get onto the PGA Tour.
great? Well, in that regard, if you ever need a caddy and you find
Yeah,
yourself short,
no
yeah,
problem.
I'm your guy.
Yes.
I made that offer to Dom as well, so I have a corner on the English players. So
Yeah,
we've played before, and I promise you, I'll have a good time, and I'll stay out of your way, and I definitely keep up with
absolutely.
and keep up with you. But thanks again for taking the time out. Wish
Yeah,
you
no
a
problem.
very great best of luck on your midterms and finals, and we're going to be following you. We're big fans, and thanks for taking time out to chat with CGN today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.